I'm Ty Burr.
I'm Wesley Morris.
And the summer is over, the fall is here, which means it's time for serious movies.
This is the first year I can think of where they're not as overtly serious or pleading for seriousness as
well, there's
they
a couple.
previously had been.
There's a couple out there.
I mean thematically serious, like, you know, taking on like important issues importantly.
Yeah, but even though the important issues movies sound like they've got a creative personnel that have got me excited, you know.
Yeah, or there's sort of star-driven as opposed to sort of theme-driven.
Right.
So you have a movie like The Ides of March,
exactly,
which is
directed
a
by George Clooney,
thriller or campaign drama that's centered around the behavior of people as opposed to these sort of greater ideals.
Right, with George Clooney and Ryan Gosling, which is a very, you know, fascinating pairing that I love. And Clooney's also showing up in the new film by Alexander Payne, who's one of my favorite directors, called The Descendants.
Yes, I mean that also looks like a dramatic comedy. Even this sort of big war movie is not a conventional war movie.
No,
it's a war movie about
a horse. Steven Spielberg's War Horse, based on a graphic novel.
Yes. Well, based on a children's experience.
And there's a lot of that going on.
Martin Scorsese of all people
is adapting this wonderful book, The Adventures of Hugo Cabret, about a little boy and the inventor of special effects movies, Georges Méliès, in early Paris, and how he's going to make that movie, that book into a movie. I have no idea.
Well, but see, that's the thing that's sort of appealing. I mean, as weird as it is that Martin Scorsese is like not going to shoot anybody for a change, it also is interesting that it'll be interesting to see how he takes a very visual, or a book that was primarily visual, at least for me, and turn it into a movie that is both himself and, you know, recognizable as its source material.
The movie history that's sort of imbued in that story, I know that that's something that
that's
attracts
very
him.
appealing to him. That's why he did it.
It's drawing. I think it's a message from my father.
I'll tell you the movie I'm looking forward to the least.
Okay.
That's The Adventures of Tintin, which is based on that French comic series, that Belgian, that I grew up with, and I know a lot of people. The people who know it are very fond of it. And it's been turned by Steven Spielberg and Peter Jackson into a motion capture 3D gizmo thing that
it's the motion capture that we're worried about. I mean, more than primarily. I mean, the experience of having to sort of wrestle with the
and that sort of bulbous 3D, even photorealistic cartoon characters. The appeal of the originals was their two-dimensionality.
Was their two-dimensional, right? But if anybody is going to make that not nauseating, I think it's these two guys. The thing that I'm most looking forward to is the thing that I think many people are looking forward to, which is probably The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which is the David Fincher version, which is meant to expunge from our minds the first three Swedish films.
You never saw those Swedish movies.
Which contained 3 very good performances by Noomi Rapace, who has now been replaced by Rooney Mara. Don't know how this movie is going to work. I'm rooting for it. I believe that if anybody can take those books and turn them into something that is at least as trashily awesome as the books were, I think it's probably David Fincher.
And you've got Daniel Craig coming into it as well.
Yes,
so it is class act all around. I think that's probably the one that people are most curious to see.
Yes.
It's a treacherous place. Do you understand? Watch your step.
Buckle your seatbelts, people.
It's going to be a smooth,
probably smooth, very light
ride to Oscar land.
Very little bump along the way.
Happy fall.
Happy fall.
I'm Ty Burr.
I'm Wesley Morris.